సార్ ఒక్క నిమిషం ఎప్పుడు రాను ఎస్ సార్ ఓకేనా వినబడుతుంది కదా అంత వాయిస్ క్లియర్
Yes.
Good evening dear Khadar sir and good evening dear members. This is Padmaja Umadar. I heartily welcome you all for today's topic, current situation, question and answers with our beloved person, Dr. Khadar. Let me give you all a brief about Dr. Khadar. A native of Produturu town, Kadapa district, Andhra Pradesh, Dr. Khadar has been working relentlessly in reviving Siridhanya for nearly 20 years. After having completed a Master Science with a specialization in education from Regional Institute of Education, Mysuru, he went on to get his PhD from the Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, for his work involving steroids. Dr. Khadar pursued his postdoctoral research fellowship in environmental science from Beaverton, Oregon, United States of America. His research involved deactivating deadly chemical substances such as Agent Orange at a time when food was being rapidly commercialized. After completing his postdoctoral research at Beaverton, Dr. Khadar felt that instead of working in a foreign country for a living, it would be meaningful to strive toward making a healthier society in his own country. Therefore, he returned to India from the US in 1997 and settled down in Mysuru. He worked hard to revive 5 different types of millets that were fast disappearing. In the process of consuming each of these millets, he discovered that the healing properties present in them could cure even deadly diseases. Hence, he named these 5 millets as Siridhanya. He is of firm opinion that paddy rice, wheat, milk, non-vegetarian food, untimely eating habits, genetically modified crops are the main culprits for our unhealthy condition. In order to cultivate them naturally, Dr. Khadar propounded a method called Adukrushi or jungle farming. He has been treating his patients for their diseases by recommending the consumption of Siridhanya, different plant or tree leaf decoctions. Now, we will go into the topic on current situation with Dr. Khadar. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Padmaja. Good evening to everyone. I will not speak much today because we want to spend some time on question and answers that people are doing. Of course, our lifestyle has been proposed for a long time and people are actually following a lot of them. But the idea is not just curing diseases. Basically, the whole problem is the sustainable, healthy living. And for that sustainable, healthy living to happen, we have to have locally grown foods and decentralized food systems. But I personally believe that the whole world is moving towards centralizing things, be it food, be it agriculture, be it so-called health systems, be it political events and everything. And basically, whether it is democracy or totalitarianism or semi-totalitarianism, whatever form of governance, it doesn't matter. Everything has to be now in the form of centralized systems. And that's where the problems have started, both in terms of human freedom as well as the sustainability of the planet itself. So the centralized system of consuming natural resources is the source of all the problems now presently facing human race as well as the living things on this planet. I may not make sense for many people who are joining newly our discussion. We have had so many number of times been repeating that the value of the localized foods, basically staple food, has to be a food material, a material that can be grown on local conditions anywhere and anytime. And the corporate companies have chosen rice and wheat.
Sir, excuse me, sir. మీ మైక్ కొంచెం ప్రాబ్లం ఉన్నట్టుంది సార్, క్రాక్ అవుతుంది సౌండ్.
Not clear?
Yes, sir, please.
Oh,
Mic disturbance ante sir. Voice break అవుతుంది sir. Because we don't want to lose any.
yeah. So the centralized systems are the basic reason why we have all the problems. Now, especially with the corona times, current situation, it has become very convenient for all the political systems, whether it is Russia, whether it is China, whether it is America, whether it is India, it hardly matters. Everyone is being bundled up by these corporate companies, and they are trying to dictate terms in the name of corona, an unknown and unseen enemy, though the enemy is not a serious one, but it is just a name. And they have been taking away our freedom slowly and steadily. First, they came and said, you have to close your mouth, you have to close your nose, wear mask, 1 mask, 2 masks, now 3 masks. And then they said they will come up with vaccines. They have come up with vaccines, 1, 2 vaccines, and now they're saying 3rd vaccine. And they said Corona 1, Corona Delta, Gamma, Beta, Mu. What is this kind of changing all the narratives and trying to confuse people? And then there is an expert committee giving orders from somewhere, and all the agents in each and every country who are following this, and they have been even managing the legal systems, though our constitution clearly dictates that vaccination of any kind is not mandatory and voluntary. Despite Supreme Court giving the orders with regards to this issue, we are still being arm twisted by many organizations all over India, be it a state government or central government. Even today, anyone can go to RTI and then get a PMO certificate saying that vaccination is voluntary. But still, the orders have been passed by many state governments to get vaccinated. Otherwise, you will be removed from the job and there will be no salary. This kind of harassment and trying to tread into the freedom of human individual expression as well. See, these politicians can have their election rallies, no corona. And if you want to have a small function of 50 to 100 people, you have to get permission from these guys. And who are these guys? They choose to give permission to election rallies, and they do not choose to give permission to common man. So this is really the height of freedom being taken away. And we are slowly slipping into a totalitarian systems. Whether we believe in submitting our freedom or not is absolutely independent to each and every person on this planet. And instead of trying to create democratic values all over the world, we are seeing in the name of health. And I have been telling all along for the last 22 years that we have been losing the choice of food itself. And hence, we have found ourselves, all the planet, eating 4 or 5 items. And that itself is loss of freedom, according to me, because the diversified food systems that are given by God have been systematically taken away by these corporate companies. And in the name of standardization, in the name of qualifications and quality control, we have been totally subverted. And what more word I want to use? Been completely fooled by these corporate companies, and they have the policy makers in their pockets, and the policy makers are trying to just pave red carpet for their policy, because if they do not, they are not going to be in power. And this is the simple current situation all over the world, just not in India alone. So it's high time each individual exercises his constitutional rights, questioning these concepts, questioning these narratives, questioning the independence being taken away from each individual, whether it is an organization, whether it is a man on the road. Like, we cannot go out, We cannot curfews, weekend curfews. All these systems look very funny. And corona, in fact, is the least dangerous virus. um, People have not died. In fact, if you see, get back 7.6 per thousand is the death rate all along for the last 10 years. And in the last 2 years, it has not increased. In fact, it has decreased. And the world, the papers, the news, media, everyone should be actually talking about this simple logic that 7.6 per thousand is the death rate of the whole world average, and it has not increased. And there is no need for any more discussions whether corona is more dangerous, mu is dangerous, delta is dangerous. All these are irrelevant. They are irrelevant points, just irrelevant. So, suo moto, the judges in each and every state, high court or Supreme Court, should be releasing orders to get out of this endemic act, because it's been 2 years almost. There's nothing seriously gone wrong because of corona. And what more evidence do you need? And this is not about science. This is not about corona killing people. This is about something else. And that much I am very clear from my side. So I was also trying to come up with protocols and this and that. But I would still love to talk a few more minutes, because this juggernaut of fooling people, be it diabetes, be it cholesterol, be it triglycerides, be it rheumatism, be it autoimmune diseases, be it BP, all these diseases have been hyped up by these corporate companies so that we all keep going around the hospitals and take the so-called tablets, take the so-called technology, MRI, CT scans, this and that, and creating huge multi-trillion-dollar businesses all around this. So it is in the name of corona, we are being dragged into this kind of situation. And I have been telling, in the name of food and health, we have been cheating. I mean, the governments and the corporate has been cheating the common man all along for the last 40, 50 years. It's not just that corona is created right now. It's been planned for the last 15, 20 years. So it is nothing to do with corona. But still, does not corona exist? Yes, it does. It has been there. It will be there, and it is going to trouble us in future too. If not corona, some other virus. Now they're talking about Nipah, and something else can come. Because the way we are living, the way we are creating the artificial meat, these are the reasons. Instead of tackling the problem at the root level, we are talking about everything in peripheral levels, because, I mean, we, the corporate and the whole human race, that's what I mean, I may be confusing sometimes. When we say we, I am including the whole human race, these governments and everything like that. So I think I should be conscious not to use the word we for both cases. So the we who have not recognized that the freedom is taken away is very responsible systems have been slowly being dismantled. Not just this corona time. Many people think that this is corona time, these are things are happening. No. I have been very sensitive and acutely aware of these things going on for the last 25 years, at least minimum. So when you are made to drink, all of the people in the world are made to drink Jersey cow have started this problem. And all are made to eat sugar. All are made to eat paneer. All are made to eat cheese. All these are centralized food materials that are prepared, manufactured, synthesized industrially. This is industrial food culture at its best. And we are not questioning that. So that means we have given our freedom, thinking process, thought process, everything gone to wind. Since then, these things have been happening. Since then, we have been running around hospitals. Since then, we have been gobbling up pills. Since then, we have been ill. The real wellness has disappeared. from this planet. And this is the problem. And this system is creating all this. So unless we dismantle this centralized system and create local production of the food materials, the food materials have to be locally, not synthesized, not manufactured, not produced. They have to be grown locally in a natural way. Only then the sicknesses can disappear from this planet, and each and every individual that is born on this planet can be healthy. And that is the most important thing that the governments, the scientists, the doctors should start working upon serious, which should be the real goal of a scientist, real goal of a doctor, real goal of a politician, real goal of a society, real goal of a country, administrative system, governance, to produce a healthy society. Instead, we are doing all other things in a wrong way. So this being the background, I just want you to point out where we are in these time zones, and this is what is happening, and corona is not a serious thing. And please breathe free, open your nostrils and mouth, go to free air, and the more you keep shutting your noses with the mask, the more lungs problems will appear, chronic problems will appear. The real goal. So when you are going out, real goal of a doctor, real goal of a politician, real goal. As long as you are not there in the common public, too many people, just because it is a law. When political rallies happen, nothing is, no corona is there. You see, this is the problem. So I want you to be aware of all these issues, and still there is a danger of some virus naturally attacking people. I'm not denying there is an element of Sankramika Roga, that is, infectious diseases are recorded in the history of human race. It's not that everything just you can wish and go away. Corona is, you can just wish and it will go away. Let me tell you very frankly. You just say there is no corona and no corona will come to you. Guarantee. Because it is such a weak virus. So absolutely no problem with corona. But not all viruses can be the same. We have a handbook on corona, and the same handbook will hold good for any viruses. To create internal natural immune system, you need to follow the same Saptapatra Kashaya for 28 days, 28 days, 28 days, or 7 days, 49 days, whichever way it is convenient for you. And then if and when you get into different kinds of infections, we have had already protocols, H1N1, H5N1, and infectious fever. Everything is completely point by point illustrated in our protocols. So follow the basic natural immune system, and that requires only 3 aspects, as I have explained many times: vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D. And vitamin B12 is the most crucial important thing, which is coming by microbial imbalance, which we have not only devised but successfully handed over to the common man, because I've had the luck and good opportunity and happy situations wherein I get WhatsApp messages and phone calls, and in fact many people visit me from long distances just to say thank you. And among that, there was a small girl of 8th standard from a small village day before yesterday calling me, saying that she has taken care of her mother, her brother.
Yes. Sir, can you hear me? Sir? Sir? I think some network issue from Khadar sir, and maybe he will join. Yeah, let us wait for 2 more minutes. I think there was a network issue from Dr. Khadar sir. Join. Okay, sir. Yeah, yeah, sure, sir. Unmute and choose, sir. Achha. Join, Rasul. Okay. Unmute, sir. Sir, మాట్లాడండి సార్.
So vitamin B, microbial imbalance, and ambali is the best solution everyone would like to make. And vitamin C, as I have been telling, a common man can just have a pickle, and if you are rich, you can have ananas, you can have avocado, you can have oranges, whatever, vitamin C. And the best vitamin C in India is guava fruit. I mean, there's nothing better than that. So, as simple as that, and vitamin D, I have been telling everyone, our Sanatana Dharma clearly explains, and Ayurveda clearly tells all things connected to viruses, bacteria, fungus, everything. And that has everything to do with your immunity and with calcium metabolism, iron metabolism. So many aspects of biological chemical reactions in our body depend on the Surya Namaskara. So I can't emphasize more about these three aspects to keep anyone having the base health for all the living things on this planet, basically. So please do follow this BCD and try to share the information with anyone and everyone. And there is a problem with this so-called allopathy educated, Western educated people. Their systems are blocked. They cannot understand that the simple solutions exist in nature. And unless we travel towards the natural, decentralized, local food production processes, food production methods, and nothing else can solve the problem of health on this planet for human race. And luckily, we have been working on this system for the last, according to me, my mind got set onto this problem of people becoming sick all over the world. And I personally believe I have found the key to this problem. And luckily, it has been a monumental success according to me, because all over the world, many patients have been reporting to me through WhatsApp, through video calls, this call. And in fact, I should start apologizing to many of the people who are trying to contact me, because it has humanly become impossible for me to take calls or WhatsApp messages or emails, and it's out of reach. I mean, I feel so bad that I'm out of reach for people. And it's very sad that I'm trying to help more number of people. And sadly, I am tied up with my physical presence in the clinic. So every day I have to be with minimum of 70 to 100 patients. And it's a huge load for a person to deal with. And so I sincerely apologize to all people all over the world trying to reach me through different means. And of late, everyone wants video conferences, video consultations, which is practically impossible for me. I'm not able to even take my phone calls, which I feel very bad and very sad. I wish I had some means of attending to people's calls, which I still do. So I still do whenever I get time. Sometimes when I'm in toilet, I take calls. That's the only time I talk to people. And otherwise, it's always ended. I mean, I'm sorry to say these things, but that's my condition. I thought I would put it in front of the people so that people don't get different ideas about me. And people think I'm arrogant or something. No, I am trying to do my best. Please do understand me with folded hands. Do not please think otherwise. I am trying to do my best. It's not me alone. My wife is also facing the same problem. And to tell you the truth, even Padmaja is in trouble. She's also facing this kind of trouble. So with all due apologies, the session is open for question and answers. Thank you all. Yes, go ahead.
No problem. So, are the decoctions mentioned in the protocol safe? Do they have any side effects? Can only
absolutely no.
Yes,
absolutely not even a single kashayam which we have mentioned in the protocol has got any side effects. You only need to follow the protocol. Do not take. I have seen some of my patients come back and tell me because they liked Tulasi Kashayam and they continue to take all through for 4 or 5 months, which is wrong thing to do. And each and every protocol, including Saptapatra Kashaya, has to be rotated once a week. Maximum is a week. So after 3 days, you can repeat, or after 7 days, you can do. But don't take any Kashayam beyond 7 days. And that is the most important thing. And Kashayams have absolutely no side effects. Some people may not like the bitter taste of giloy. So some people may not be comfortable. So the moment they see the smell of it, so forget about that. We have given many options in each protocol. So 1 or 2, if you have a problem, status. That is, some people like bitter things, some people do not like bitter things, some people like sour things, some people don't like sour things. That's just a matter of you getting tuned to for some time. So, in fact, the idea of taking oil, 3-4 spoons in the morning for nervous disorder is also, many people are not used to taking oil. But there's nothing wrong. It's just a matter of 3-4 days you get used to. So, there's absolutely, and we have done this experiments not on 1%, 2%. It's been 20 years going on,
Lakhs
and
of people are following.
thousands and thousands of patients have done this and they have reported becoming well. So please do not have a single iota of doubt that they have any side effects. And if you do the way we have prescribed in the protocols, nothing will be wrong with you.
Yes, sir. Does taking kashayam daily, empty stomach, hurt the lining of GI tract or causes early periods?
Absolutely not. In fact, it strengthens your GI tract, and many of the microbes that are associated with this kashayam
Yes.
increases your gut microbial strength. And some women who are hormonally imbalanced can get sometimes, especially say papaya leaves, kashayam. If you have less hemoglobin when you take papaya kashayam, you may start bleeding. So such things are there, and if you follow the protocols perfectly, absolutely there should not be any problem. And we have cross-checked these kinds of issues when a protocol is written, not once, twice, hundreds of cases have been confirmed. So absolutely no problem. Only people who are sick should follow the protocols, and people who are healthy also should follow the rules, that you can take any kashayam for a week. And if one kashayam doesn't agree with you, please leave it. As simple as that.
Yes, sir. Except in Saptapatra kashayam.
Yes.
Please mention that, sir. Otherwise,
yeah, Saptapatra kashaya is a must. You get used to it. They are
order is also mandatory.
Yeah, absolutely. And whether you like it or not, please do go through the Saptapatra kashaya, because these infectious diseases are going to increase, if not naturally, unnaturally, biological wars. All these things are possibilities. So I'm not saying we are going to go on each other country is going to devise biological wars, but that possibility exists, and even that can be made null and void if you go through Saptapatra kashaya in India. Absolutely guaranteed.
Yes, sir. Sir, what is the cause for premature baldness? Is it possible to regrow the hair through our lifestyle and without medicines?
Absolutely. The basic reason is hormonal imbalance. In men, it expresses by loss of hair. In women, there are other systems that expresses, maybe having a breast tumor or having mustache on the lips, unwanted hair, and unluckily, even women, if the imbalance is too much, are also losing hair on the head. When bald head in women by genetic disposition should be maybe 1 in 10 crores, but now it has become 1 in 1,000. So that's the changes that we have brought in the last 50 years by exposing ourselves to these hormones very heavily in the form of steroids, in the form of milk, in the form of egg, in the form of meat. So that's why we keep telling, if you maintain your hormonal balance, to do that, you need to get rid of all these food items that you are consuming on a daily basis. And it will be another 20, 30 years for the human race to really get out of this hormonal imbalance, because the foods that we are consuming in such large quantities are all working tirelessly to make you hormonally imbalanced. So that's why we are seeing young boys and girls becoming bald and not having enough hair. Women, though they have hair, but they do not have as much hair as earlier. In fact, to tell you one statistic, our Karnataka Malla Mahadeshwar Swamiji used to get so much hair, but now he has got only 1/3 of the hair that we used to get regularly. And so the hair per kilo used to be 7,000 rupees they were selling. Now they have increased to 18,000 rupees or 15,000 rupees, I guess. Though their collection of hair in their temples is much less, but they have been able to make the same kind of money that they were making 2 years ago. because the price of the hair has gone up. That means the amount of hair collected in Tirupati and these kinds of places has drastically reduced. That itself is a great indication. It is just so happened yesterday I read this. I was talking to a farmer near Malamadeshwar Beta. He just sent me the newspaper cutting. So it happened you asked the same question. It is the microbial and hormonal imbalance. Microbial because vitamin B12 is also responsible for our loss of hair. So you want to get your hair back, you need to follow the protocol in the book called Skin Disorders we have given. In that, you better start for 6 weeks to 9 weeks with Ambali, and then everything will start falling in place. And good kashayams are also given to correct your hormonal balance.
Thank you, sir. How to avoid blood in motion?
Yeah, the blood in motion can be for various reasons, but most often present today, many boys and girls without much problem, they are having blood in the motion. It's because of the inflamed rectum, inflamed anus, inflamed large intestines and sigmoid curve, all these things. Basically, according to me, it's because of wheat. The celiac region is getting inflamed and you are getting the bleeding. So you please stop eating wheat and too many pulses. You will have no problems. And of course, steroid-ridden meat, eggs should be completely avoided.
Yes, sir.
And we need to use a lot of fibrous food, of course. Our Ambali. Yeah, Ambali is the best.
Yes, sir.
And you may be finding me coming back and referring to this Ambali, vitamin D, vitamin C quite often. And it so happens they are the real things that you require.
Yes, sir. Sir, I am 64 years male diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa. Since 2 years, my father, one sister and brother, both older to me, had became blind gradually. Sir, will the eye protocol mitigate my situation?
Yes. We have had very good success with retina pigmentosa. In fact, Padmaja also has testimonial from somewhere.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people have given this. So absolutely no problem. Please follow the eye protocol. It's a matter of 1 or 2 years. If nothing happens, you will not lose your eyesight. Whatever is remaining will be remaining. If nothing happens. But I'm sure you will have a lot of improvement.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have been following millet diet with structured water, vegan milk, leaf decoctions, 1 hour walking, wood pressed oils from past 6 months. I listen to all videos of Dr. Khadar. Of late, I have lost weight. I get mouth ulcers, lot of boils and pimples on face. Everyone who look at me thinks that I am suffering from illness where I am fine except lot of pimples on face and continuous mouth ulcers. I also soak millets for 6 to 8 hours, but I need at least 6 fistful of siridhanya every day. Also, I feel very hungry within 3 hours after eating siridhanya, especially during the day. Is there any something wrong with me?
No, eat sprouts, 1 fistful of different varieties. Make usli, that is, you boil them in steam and then along with it eat fenugreek seeds also, sprouts, 1 spoon. Then you should be fine in a matter of 3 to 4 weeks. After that, once a week you can consume the sprouts, you will be fine. And present, you still are microbially imbalanced. So you need to concentrate on Ambali. At least once a day you take Ambali and take buttermilk. And you have vegetarian buttermilk you can make, or even regular desi cow buttermilk is also very good for you. And if it's still, you losing weight is absolutely no problem. You only started 6 months. So whatever bad things you are losing, another 6 months you will start gaining weight.
He's worrying about the pimples and mouth ulcers, sir. He's worrying about pimples and mouth ulcers.
That's what is basically microbial and hormonal imbalance. Just we answered the question when you asked about bald head, the same thing. It's true. So another 6 months to 1 year, you should be doing fine. Absolutely.
Oh. Um, is height in kids is hereditary? How to increase height naturally in girls? As we can see, puberty age has come down. Even height growth will have its effects. Please suggest.
Yes, genetics control to some extent, but then your food habits and your exercises, your good healthy habits can make you 1 or 2 inches taller. And having early puberty is a menace for all these natural processes. So once you reach early puberty, many things get blocked because the system is diverted. So you want to really control your hormonal imbalance, immediately stop all the milk and then get to the natural calcium supplements called sesame seeds, ragi, and all these. And if you are very rich, you can have this lotus seeds, called makhana or something they call in Hindi. So natural things you can get back to, and you should be doing fine. Absolutely no problem.
Yes, sir. Sir, people say that if girls eat sesame seeds regularly, they get puberty early. Is it true? As we are following Dr. Khadar
No,
Lifestyle.
you go on drinking liters of milk and spoil your system and blame sesame seeds. Sesame seeds all over the world, all cultures, including some tribals, have been using sesame seeds very intelligently, very wisely. And there is no culture in the world which does not use sesame seeds. They are such wonderful God's gift. You have to use intelligently, diligently. It's not that I'm asking you to eat sesame seeds kilos on a daily basis. No. If you follow our protocols, it's very clear. One small fistful of laddu once a week or twice a week is good enough. And give the kids once or twice in a week sesame seed milk. You see, it's always knowing the limits, being in balance is what is wellness. See, everything is good on this planet, but that doesn't mean you can. Without water, you cannot live. Without glucose, there is no energy. And it is the glucose being pumped into your blood in large quantities is the cause of sickness. You see, there is a thin line where you should know this side or that side. So the same thing holds good for sesame seeds, for giloy, for parijata, for everything. There is a balance to be stricken. And that is what your job is. And that's what we are trying to do through the protocols and through the lifestyle parameters. And these parameters have been deciphered following nature, following the food practices of various cultures on this planet, and trying to give the principles to the common man. And that's what we are trying to do.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. How do you start with millets? One meal at a time. Which millet is best to get our body used to eating millets?
There is nothing like that. All are good. It's some individual preferences. Some people like little millet. Some people like koda millet. Some people like barnyard millet. When I have tested this, I have experimented with this. I ask people to choose. I keep the 5 grains in front of them in the same family without cooking, without eating, without doing anything. Just keep the grains, siridhanya, on the table and ask them to choose. Each one chooses different things because even the way they look matters and it is different for each individual. See, for me, when I look at the 5 grains, I'm attracted to brown top.
Me too, sir.
And
I like that smell and everything.
Yeah. So that doesn't mean that you should eat only that. We need to see, we have acquired knowledge. We have done a lot of experiments. We have checked thousands of people. So everything is good. See, in nature, there is nothing like number one. number 2, number 3. It's because there are so many parameters and different matrices are created. So it is the generalized principles that we are trying to create. Of course, this Western thought process, Bollywood, Hollywood, your media, regular media, is always trying to number 1, number 2, number 3. This is their problem. And that's a wrong mental attitude to judge, to keep giving number 1, number 2 position. There is no number 1, number 2 in nature. Everything is important. Ant has its role to play. Butterfly has its role to play. Human being has its role to play. People tree has its role to play. And a small microbe like corona has its role to play. So everything is important. There is nothing wrong or right in nature. Each and everything has its role. Let's be open to diversified systems. Diversity in thinking is the most important thing. So don't try to bottle yourself or line up yourself to one thought process. And that's a wrong thing to do, and it is a sickness. Don't fall into practices that are completely making you monoculture. So that's why in our culture, in Sanatan, there is what is called Chaturmasa. So they specify, if you like eating onion, please stop onion for 1 month. If you like eating banana, please get rid of banana for 1 month. So this is actually the reason why they have that practice. And give away something that you like for some time. And just to break the monotony, just to see that you are not addicted. This is the logic. Nature has diversity as its logic. And we need to understand that. And this monotonous addictions like drinking coffee. I am a coffee lover. I am a tea lover. Nonsense. That's absolute nonsensical, unintelligent, unscientific statement you are making. I like this. I like that. Okay. Personal preferences are there. But then please get out of that. In fact, just yesterday, I keep talking about pickles. I come from Andhra. I love pickles. But sincerely, I practice not to eat pickles for minimum of 3 weeks. I just ended yesterday my 3 weeks abstinence from pickles.
Okay.
I didn't touch pickles even once. Otherwise, every meal I need to have a pickle. I love pickles so much that I have 18 kinds of pickles in my house. And that too, I don't eat the same pickle every meal. I keep changing. But I still need pickles. So for 3 weeks, I didn't touch any pickle. And that is what is called balance. So you should not get addicted to even to the best of the best things. In fact, pickle is very good thing. Vitamin C you need. But then you should try to get vitamin C now differently. So those 3 weeks, I ate guava fruit, I ate ananas fruit, I ate orange juice. I drank orange juice like that. See, that is the beauty of nature. God has given us so many different things, and we need to follow these wonderful principles. And luckily, our ancestors, our books, our system of Ayurveda has been stressing these points very wonderful. Even the practices have been decided and dictated by these wonderful principles. And that's the beauty of our country. That's why I love our system.
Yes, sir. That's true, sir. Sir, this time would like to increase the member interaction rather my interaction, as they are struggling to get your appointment.
Let's
so
do
if they
it.
speak with you, it builds more confidence in them. Dear members, requesting you all to attend our Dr. Khadar live sessions. From this, you will get all the basic questions answered by listening to Dr. Khadar. And when you ask any question, ask for lifestyle or millets or regarding decoctions rather than health protocols, as health protocols are already available through our PDFs, which we have published in different languages. Requesting you to ask a short and direct question instead of lot of explanation, so that more members will get opportunity to speak with Dr. Khadar. Only one question per member is allowed. JK Raju sir, please unmute yourself. J.K. Raju garu, please unmute yourself.
Go ahead. Not audible.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Go ahead.
Sir, I am suffering from dorsal myelopathy since 2015, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
And steroids and rituximab have been used, sir, in Nimhan, sir. And after hearing about Siridhanya from your speeches, I started using Siridhanyas from 2020 January, sir. And there is improvement. But is there any protocol for dorsal myelopathy specifically, sir? I have seen some నరాల సమస్యలకు సంబంధించి ఒకటి చూశాను సార్. 2 SLs.
Basically it's connected to nerves and to some extent blood. So to follow the nerves protocol.
Yes, sir. I am following it, sir. And urinary problem is also there, sir.
That have will be also taken care of with the same protocol. Okay.
I have to use cathedral, sir, for every.
I understand.
Every time, sir.
I know. Basically, there are two issues. One, deposit of things in the ureter, and as well as control of the bladder. So those two things have to be solved, and the protocol, nervous protocol, will certainly help you. Please follow it for some more time, because the neurons and nephrons both being involved will take more time to be healed.
Okay. Karunasiri garu, please unmute.
Sir, namaskaram, sir.
Namaste.
Sir, మా భార్య మేము 2.5 సంవత్సరాల నుంచి మీ డైట్ ఫాలో అవుతున్నాం సార్. One month back. Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. సో నేను యాక్చువల్గా మైస్థీనియా గ్రావిస్ పేషెంట్ సార్, 19 years నుంచి. నేను బయటపడ్డాను సార్. 9 నెలల నుంచి ఒక్క మెడిసిన్ కూడా వాడట్లేదు. మీకు బోడౌన్ సార్, మీ కాల్ మొక్తాను సార్ నేను.
నాకు కాదు, దేవుడికి.
జెన్యున్ ఫీలింగ్ సార్. లెట్ మీ ఎక్స్ప్రెస్ మై జెన్యున్ ఫీలింగ్. ఇంకొకటి సార్, అయితే 1 month back.
Problem, let me also express, no one should bow down to others. It's only God. We need to.
Because I was suffering so much from that problem. So I came out of that.
God's grace, you are out.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Your humility, sir. Again, for that quality also, I bow down, sir.
Go ahead.
Sir, 1 month back, నాకు కరోనా వచ్చింది సార్. ఫస్ట్ వెంటనే మా భార్యకు కూడా వచ్చింది. నేను బయటపడిపోయాను మీ కరోనా కైపిడి వాడుతూ. బట్ మా ఆవిడకి హాస్పిటలైజ్ అవ్వాల్సి వచ్చింది సార్. అయితే హాస్పిటలైజేషన్ లో ట్రీట్మెంట్ లో ఈ టీబీ ఉందని సార్ అది వచ్చింది సార్. సో ఇప్పుడు ఆవిడ షీఈ్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ హాస్పిటల్. టీబీ ట్రీట్మెంట్ ఇంకా మొదలు పెట్టలేదు. బట్
మొదలు పెట్టకండి. టీబీ ప్రోటోకాల్ ఫాలో కండి. అబ్సల్యూట్లీ నో ప్రాబ్లం.
అంటే అలోపతి ట్రీట్మెంట్
అవసరం లేదండి, దానివల్ల ఇబ్బందులు ఎక్కువ అవుతాయి
సార్. ఆల్రెడీ ఆ ఇబ్బందులు అవుతున్నాయి సార్, కళ్ళు తిరుగుతున్నాయి అంటుంది బాగా. హాస్పిటల్ ఉన్నప్పుడు టీబీ ట్రీట్మెంట్ చేశారు
సార్. 3 వారాల్లో తేడా వచ్చేస్తుంది. 3 weeks
సార్.
అంతగా కావాలంటే ఎక్కడైనా మంచి హోమియోపతి డాక్టర్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళండి. మంచి మందులు ఉన్నాయి, తొందరగా హెల్ప్ అవుతుంది.
సార్, మైస్థీనియా గ్రేవిస్ అనేది చిన్న జబ్బు ఏం కాదు సార్. దాంతో రిలీఫ్ పొందారంటే మన సిరిధాన్యాలతో అదంతా మీ వల్లే సార్. ఏమైనా చెప్పండి, అది మీరు
Myasthenia gravis, we have had more than 200 people reporting, and they are very rare diseases. And that means in a rare disease, you have 200 people reporting they are doing well. That means it's, though I don't like the word magic, millets are really magic.
Yes, sir. Magic done by you. Brought by you, sorry. Okay. Nadarajan Palaniyappan, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to ask this question. Good evening, Dr. Khadar. I have a question. So this is related to scientific questions that I had about the phytic acids in the grains generally. And then people are confusing, especially those millet eaters, claiming that try to reduce millet taking because of a high content of a phytic acid. I'm totally disagree about that because the soaking, the way we cook. And then
Is the question over, sir? Is the question over?
No, I think the doctor is actually Siddha doctor. Actually, he put a video. I went and against it, and then I give some scientific reason why it is not. And then he says that how the phytic acid is capture those calcium, all these elements, okay, minerals, calcium, magnesium, all these things. And then I want to hear directly from you. What is your opinion about it? And also, the soaking will eliminate.
Opinion, sir. Yeah, I understand the question. It is not opinion. It is a scientific fact that the phytic acid content is very, very less in millets. Okay, phytic acids are more in pulses. That's why we ask in our lifestyle, please soak the dicots. After 3-4 hours, you have to throw that water. Whereas in phytic acid, if you just wash once, whatever little phytic acid will go. It is absolute nonsense. And about these doctors and these so-called food corporate scientists, they have been telling us. In fact, this is what I wanted to speak at the end. In fact, recently, one of the so-called nutritionists said eating arca will cause problem because there is some fungus. The same thing people have been told by the so-called food corporate nutritionists, that aflatoxins exist in groundnut. That's why I don't take groundnut oil, because they wanted to sell this refined oil. That's how they said cholesterol is there in coconut oil. And then you have till oil, absolutely nonsense. So because they want to sell their corporate oils, refined oils, they have created this kind of misinformation saying that it is fine. The same thing that they have been following. Of course, everyone is aware of what is going on in the corona. They have no idea what they are talking, and everyone has to believe that it is scientific. And these so-called experts keep giving orders. I mean, these bogus things have been going on all along. And the supplement business, I will give you one example. Calcium. Where is calcium in milk? Where is calcium in milk? You cannot absorb milk from the cow's milk or any other milk. Only human milk, mother's milk, the body is designed to absorb. And that particular genetic coding of that enzyme gets switched off once the baby is 3 years or 4 years old. It's so scientific fact, but no one talks about this scientific fact and then keep claiming that milk is complete food. It's absolute nonsensical, unscientific myth that they have been able to successfully create in the whole human brain. All over the world, people believe that milk is good for it, which is absolutely the opposite. So this kind of examples, I can talk about hours together if you want. Vitamin B12 is another example. And tell me, sir, why on earth no one talks about vitamin D, which is so straightforward, simple thing that you expose yourself to the sun, early morning sun. And they're trying to give fortified milk with vitamin D, fortified this, fortified that. Isn't it business? It's so obvious. So when we say, please eat millets and be getting rid of all the doctors in your life, absolutely it hurts them, and they will come up with all these kinds of nonsensical, unscientific blabbering. And that's all the answer to these kind of so-called corporate food scientists. Absolutely nothing to bother about their scientific establishments or accomplishments.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Shruti, please unmute yourself. Shruti Leo.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
It's such a wonderful chance that I have got to interact with you today evening. really appreciate. I mean, I'm really young to say appreciate, but thank you very much for sharing your wisdom.
Welcome.
Sir, I just wanted to ask a very simple thing. My vitamin D level is only 2. How can millets? How millets can help me? How to get back my vitamin D levels? Thank you.
Unluckily, you are rather luckily you are at the end of the rainy season. So, in a matter of 15-20 days, you will start getting sunrise every day. So, please keep an alarm. Get up 15 minutes before sun comes into your horizon. And if you are living in an apartment, try to make arrangements to go and stand up about your apartment complex. And if you are living on the countryside, absolutely no problem. Just go out, stay in the sun, in that orange color sun. Within 6 weeks, your vitamin D will improve. Absolutely no problem. And if you think all these things are not possible for you, you are stuck in this so-called urban jungle, not able to expose to your sun, then the best thing for you is to have sun-dried mushrooms, which, of course, I'm not happy to propose that you buy in the market, which is absolutely rid with the chemicals. So you want to get some organically grown mushrooms, dry them. If you dry 10 kilos of it, you will get approximately 1 kilo. And that you can, on a weekly basis, 2 or 3 times, make soup or whatever, curry or something like that. You follow that for 6 months, you will improve your vitamin D. These are the 2 different methods which are both natural. And I think the first thing is the easiest.
Yes, sir. Sir, Dinesh Garg, please unmute yourself.
Hello. Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar.
Sir, I have a problem of swelling of appendix.
So follow the large intestine protocol, intestinal protocol. Yeah. And
large intestine protocol.
Intestine. Yeah, sorry. And then have ambali. Ambali is our fermented porridge. That will set you up. The appendicitis might have been infected with many different pathogenic bacteria or virus or something, which will be corrected with microbial balance. So have ambali regularly. Your problems will set right in a matter of 6 weeks to 3 months.
Banu Teja, please unmute yourself.
And go for long walks. Long walks is good to clean up things.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
My mother ki diabetic retinopathy without macular edema, sir. Alage schizophrenia diabetes undi. Eye protocols 3 months nunchi vaడుతున్నాము. ఇంప్రూవ్మెంట్ చాలా ఉంది. ఇంకా ఏమైనా ఆయిల్స్ ఏమైనా వాడాలా సార్?
మీకు షుగర్ కంట్రోల్ కు రావట్లేదు టైప్ 2 లో కూడా అంటే అప్పుడు ఆయిల్స్ వాడాలి. బట్ ఐ థింక్ ఇఫ్ షీ హస్ ఇంప్రూవ్డ్ ద ఐ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్, దీస్ అబ్సల్యూట్లీ నో ప్రాబ్లం. ఫాలో ద ప్రోటోకాల్ ఫర్ అనదర్ ఇయర్. Everything will be fine.
Yes, sir.
Check on HbA1c once in 3 months.
ఆవిడ షుగర్ లెవెల్స్ కంట్రోల్ లోనే ఉన్నాయి సార్. ఆయన మన FP మెంబర్.
అంటే ప్రోటోకాల్ లో కషాయాలు అవి దే విల్ రిపేర్ ద ఐ. ఐ ఇస్ a very delicate organ. So, and the protocol is designed after following hundreds of patients. So,
yes, sir. Ravi,
we have had wonderful successes in terms of that. Unless the eye is broken and you cannot fix it, everything can be actually fixed. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Ravi Gudlagaru, please unmute yourself.
Namaste, Khadar sir. I have 3 short questions. First thing, sunlight బయట కాకుండా విండోలోంచి గ్లాస్ విండోలోంచి సన్లైట్ ఎక్స్పోజ్ అయితే ఓకేనా అండి? నెంబర్ 1. నెంబర్ 2, కాపర్ ప్లేట్ 2-3 డేస్ క్లీన్ చేయకపోతే వాటర్లో ఏమైనా ప్రాబ్లం వస్తుందండి? నెంబర్ 3, కషాయాలు ఫ్రిడ్జ్ లో పెట్టి రోజు కొంచెం బయటికి తీసి రూమ్ టెంపరేచర్ తాగొచ్చా?
సార్ లాస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ నేను చెప్తాను సార్. లాస్ట్ ఒక క్వశ్చన్ కి కషాయం చేసుకోవడానికి 5 minutes కూడా పట్టమండి. దాన్ని కూడా ఫ్రిడ్జ్ లో పెడతానంటారు మీరు. 2 months వాడకండి.
టైం చాలక.
You are in a real trouble. Actually, you should not be asking these 3 questions. First, get out of your time constraint. That is the most important problem you have, actually.
Time constraint, yes.
I understood when you said you are not, you want to see 2-3 days of not washing the copper plate. That itself shows how busy you are.
Yes.
It's not right. You need to wash once in 24 hours, especially if you are putting the copper plate in 20 liters. It needs to be cleaned regularly. In fact, we clean once in 12 hours. I mean, we keep it in the morning, clean it in the night, and again clean. So that's a must. Okay. And glass, through glass, vitamin D is made, but actually almost 40 to 50% is. That means you need double the time. You need double the time. So exposed to the orange color directly 15 minutes, say you make 10 units on that particular time. And if you are actually sitting in the house and in the glass room, I see your problem is not having time. That is the problem. So please do something about creating some time for yourself. Actually, that is the answer. The answer is for all is that.
ఒక్క హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్ ముందు లేవండి, అన్ని పనులు అయిపోతాయి. ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. Suman Agarwal, please unmute yourself.
Actually, this is a very important one. I like the 3 questions we asked. You see, this is the human tendency. No, this is a very serious thing, actually. This is our human mind, is that we don't want to change. We don't want to change. We want to keep doing it. That's because you are stuck in this urban corporate culture. You see, you've got to think differently. You've got to think differently. And this is very important. And that's why my answer is these 3 are not the questions. The real question is whether this urban culture can be gotten out of your mind at least in the mind. I'm not saying you all of a sudden shift to village, but you can still live in the city, but live differently. Keep time. Go to park. Expose yourself. These are things that anyone can do. It's in your hand. Don't get sucked up by this urban culture. I have also lived in big cities, but I never ever did this kind of problems. We need to be cautious, aware of each and every day, every moment. Please be aware of what is going on. It's very serious. Though the questions look silly, but it indicates a serious condition of human race all over the world.
Yes, sir. Dr. Sumna. Okay. Dr. Sumna, please unmute yourself. Sorry, not Dr. Sumna. Suman Agarwal. Sorry.
Okay.
Hello, Dr. Khadar. We are following your millet diet for past 7-8 months. Me and my husband.
Correction.
But you
millet
said
food. Millet
all
food,
5 millets.
Diet.
All 5 Sridhanya millets.
Don't use the word diet. I am against the word diet.
No. Okay. I'm using these millets for my food. Okay. And but what happens is you said handful of millets is not sufficient for my husband. For me, it is okay. So if he takes extra millets, he takes 2-3 handful of millets. Is that okay?
No. What do you mean by handful?
I mean, you told me that once I heard you, just a handful of millet is sufficient for the whole day.
You mistook or misunderstood me. 1 handful of dry grains.
Yeah, dry grain. But then
one meal, becomes not for whole day, madam.
Okay, for 1 meal. Okay.
After the age of 40 and below 40, you need 2 fistfuls. That's what I told.
Yeah, okay. But ma'am, I'm 64 and my husband is 68. So, I mean, if it takes, I think, 2 handfuls of millets.
1 handful for each meal is good enough.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay.
That's
okay.
what I
For
also
each
eat.
meal, I understood it wrongly. Okay. Okay. And
Not the whole day.
suppose sometimes we feel like taking nachni and all that because we used to take that earlier.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
That's okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Jawar,
Certainly,
nachni, can we take?
Neutral millets once a week. One
Once
meal
a week.
day. No,
whole day I should be taking the neutral millet, or should I take one time? I can take this Shri Dhanya millet and one time neutral millet.
No. You have to have 95% of your meals Siridhanya. Okay.
Okay.
Then
No,
5%.
suppose
That means say out of 10
one day
meals,
I can take in the morning. Suppose once a week. One day in the morning I take Shri Dhanya millet, and then evening I can take nachni.
yeah, but if you keep taking nachni all the evenings, then you are screwing
No,
up the
not
ratio.
all the evening. Once in 4 or 5 days.
Absolutely no problem. Neutral millet
No
once
problem.
in 4 or 5 days is good.
Or maybe once a
Absolutely
week. No problem.
Fine. Once a week Jowar,
Okay,
once a week millet, once a week proso millet. Absolutely no problem.
Sir.
No problem at all. No problem at all.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. I think sometimes if we feel very hungry, we can eat little more, right, sir? Or we should stick to
Let's see. Imagine you have climbed Chamundi. You have climbed Chamundi. You can eat little more.
Okay, got it, sir.
No, this is roughly. Yeah. Say, imagine you are sitting in the computer and then simply pressing the button. Then you follow regiment.
Okay, sir.
Don't eat beyond that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Because you are not exercising, you are not doing anything. So why do you want to eat more? Okay. Say you have gone out, trekked, and then come and again 2 more days trekking. Then you will eat little more. What is there?
Okay, sir. Got it, sir. Doctor.
But it is always good to eat little less. After 45 years of age, 45 years, always eat little less. Always eat little less. 2 or 3 morsels less is better than always eating little more.
Okay, sir.
Of course, some festival occasions you may not have something. Then you walk little more, half an hour more.
Yes, sir. Correct, sir. Dr. Shankar.
5 minutes.
Yes. Last 2, sir. Dr. Shankar, please unmute yourself.
Thank you, madam. Sir, namaskar.
Namaskar.
Hello.
ಹೇಳಿ
ಸರ್ ನಾನು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಿಂದ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಸರ್.
ಅದೇ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಯಾರು ಕನ್ನಡದವರು ಒಬ್ರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು.
ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಹೇಳಿ
ನಿಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ಬಹಳ ಸರಿ ನಿಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಬಹಳ ಸರಿ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಸರ್, ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಸಿರಿಧಾನ್ಯ ಮೇಳದಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸುಮಾರು ಹೊತ್ತು ಕೇಳಿದೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ನಿಮ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಫಾಲೋನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಹಲೋ.
Please ask your question directly, please.
ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾವ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಪ್ಯಾಂಕ್ರಿಯಾಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಹೌದು ಸರ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಜೆಷನ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಿಮ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ ಅಂತ.
ಪ್ರೋಟೋಕಾಲ್ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ.
ಹೌದು ಸರ್.
ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. Pancreas is not a serious problem. You can get out of it easily. 6 months to 1 year follow the protocol. ತುಂಬಾ ಇದೆ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ವಾಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ನೀವು, ಯಾವ ಊರು?
ಸರ್ ನ್ಯೂ ಚೆಸ್ಟನ್.
ಸರ್ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ.
ನಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಲಿನಿಕ್ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಈಗ ಅಕ್ಟೋಬರ್ 31ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ 8 ರಿಂದ 10 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನವೆಂಬರ್ ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ಗೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬನ್ನಿ.
ಹಾ ಸರ್.
ಸರ್ ಮಧುಬಾಬು, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ yourself.
ಹಲೋ
ಮಧುಬಾಬು
ಸರ್, ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಸರ್. ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಸರ್. Sir, I thank you so much for the protocol that diabetes. No, I could reverse one. I'm so happy about it because 3 years I tried so much, all things, but nothing worked. Vegetable, this, that, and no. But this protocol really helped greatly. I thank you so much. Hearty thanks.
Lakhs of people have got out of.
I stopped
thanks,
the
Padmaja.
Padmaja madam also, the entire team I would like to thank. So we greatly appreciate, sir. It is a really wonderful thing. So one question I had was that I'm taking the porridge, the fermented porridge every day in the morning. So I've been taking almost 9 months now. Is it okay to continue every day except for Sunday? I take all 6 days the porridge. Sunday I take millet dosa.
Yeah, if you are happy with it, it's okay. No
I'm happy. Will it cause any excess microbes in the system and all?
No. There is nothing like it. No, absolutely not.
Yeah. Another question was that this vaccine promoting people keep saying that once those who are taken vaccine, they don't become serious, they don't die, they don't go to ICU. This is a percentage, like all these kind of things.
Israel and America and Europe. It's all false statements, and our media is misleading us. Israel and America and Europe, people are dying now, or people have taken vaccines.
Yeah. One more thing, sir. I've been using for 9-10 months now, but in spite of that, this swelling has come on the neck. What would be the reason, sir? Any idea?
Where?
Swelling on my neck. If you see, I'm following the diabetes protocol only.
Yeah. I think you need to go to a homeopathy doctor. You just take, say, maybe goiter is there. It will go away. You follow the goiter protocol. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, doctor, sir.
Yeah, that's a goiter. Please take a goiter protocol. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Mocha Lakshman, please unmute yourself.
Good evening, Madam Garu.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello. Good evening, Madam. Doctor, good evening, sir.
Yes.
Khadar Garu. Sir, I am 40 years, sir. Morning, evening, రాగి తీసుకుంటాను సార్. నేను యాక్చువల్ గా డయాబెటిక్ పేషెంట్.
రాగి పనిచేయదండి.
అంటే యాక్చువల్ గా అవి నానబెట్టి మొలకట్టి మరాడిస్తాము.
ఏం చేసినా రాగి మీకు డయాబెటిస్ ని బాగు చేయలేదు.
ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు మీరు
డయాబెటిస్ ప్రోటోకాల్ క్లియర్ గా ఉంది, దాన్ని ఫాలో కండి.
పీడిఎఫ్ నేను రీసెంట్ గా జాయిన్ అయ్యాను సార్ మీ గ్రూప్ లో, అది నాకు ఐడియా లేదు.
నన్ను అడగండి, నేను పంపిస్తానండి. ఒక మెసేజ్ పెట్టండి గ్రూప్ లో, మండే నేను మీకు పీడిఎఫ్ షేర్ చేస్తానండి.
ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ మేడం.
ఓకే అండి సార్, క్లోజ్ చేద్దామా సార్?
Yeah, I just wanted to speak about this apaprachara, the wrong information being spread by everyone, because whoever uses millet for some time, they will find the benefits. But then there are other methods and other people who do not want. Always there is an opposition, or even yourself, because you are used to eating rice, wheat, sugar and all. You are sick, but still mentally you are not willing to change what you have been doing all along. I mean, that's the human nature. So you yourself will find excuses to say no to Arca, no to Corley, no to this, no to that. And of course, the present day doctors and the established allopathic world certainly do not want their patients go away, disappear. Basically, when you eat millet and this lifestyle, when you follow, patients disappear. Just patients disappear. That's as simple as that. So obviously they have everything to lose if all people follow. And that's my, and in fact, I keep telling in many of my lectures, follow this, don't drink milk, don't take rice, don't take wheat. I can close down 90% of the hospitals in the world. I mean, period. There is no going back. Believe me, it is that well researched and wonderful thing that human race can embrace. Okay, it is the food of the future. There are no two things about it. So in between there will be a lot of people, different agendas, different ways of doing things come up. The way millets are quite resinous. One of the England doctors traveled to South Africa I think Kenya, mostly Kenya. Then he saw some women having goiter, and then he asked only 2 questions. What did you eat? They said, we eat phony millet. How long? They said, we have been eating that. That's all. He went back and he can publish a paper. He wrote in some journal, medical journal, millets cause goiter. This happened sometime in 1989 or 90. And since then, we have been reviving the millets for various wonderful protocols, and thousands, lakhs of people have been getting well, including goiter. We have cleaned up using our protocol. Hundreds of patients, thousands of patients, thyroid patients, everything we have cured. But even today, someone will put up that and say, oh, millet cause goiter. They don't know what millet is, basically. That fellow who wrote that article doesn't know what is phony millet, what is foxtail millet, what is photo millet. But everyone, whoever has access to this article, keep throwing at us, saying that, oh, this is that, this is that. And as I've given you many examples in my earlier questions, that aflatoxins are there in groundnuts, cholesterol is there in cholesterol, and to the extent that if you take till oil, you will become black. Like this, all kinds of myths have been spread by these so-called food corporate scientists. And they have been debunking all local practices, saying that decoctions are dangerous because you do not know what is there in it. This is the knowledge handed over by our great rishis and sadhakas for time immemorial. I mean, it's thousands and thousands of years. Everything is well recorded. And we have been able to, again, revisit these things. And we have authenticated by our experiments in our clinic and seen to that thousands of people, and thus we have been trying to help the common man. We are not packaging in plastic dabbas and asking people to take churnas and Ayurveda tailas and things like that, which is a wrong thing to do according to me, personal opinion. Now, a lot of things are in market, like noni. Why all that? Genie. Oh, mix everything and take. This is very good for health. All of a sudden, this commercial things coming up. All this nonsense. These are all nonsense things. The same way some nutritionists say kodo has some fungus and this happens. Ye hota hai, wo hota hai. Kya hota hai? Kuch bhi nahi hota hai. We have talked about it long ago. We have mentioned in our videos what to do with this. There is a possibility that kodo is not dried well when it is harvested, and some fungus could grow, and that can trouble you sometimes. And even that can trouble you. It's not at all harmful. Within 2 days, the body will overcome the ill effects of that. So it's as simple as that. But for some reason, these things are thrown up. And when someone says it is a danger, that is entered and established and absorbed much faster than saying, Dr. Khadar has been telling these 5 grains are wonderful, beautiful, experiments are done. Nowadays, good for your lungs and then nerves, and then little millet is good for so much information. No one tries to come back with the knowledge. The moment someone says kodo is bad, kodo is bad, everyone talks about it. So this is the nature, human nature. And this agenda-based, a lot of these things can go on, and it goes on, and it is a free world. Anything anyone can express. But then it is for you to analyze, to decipher, and to assimilate the right information. And we have been at it for the last 25 years. This is not that we have come just one day, and we have been at it. Please do check the facts about what we are talking. And it is not that 1%, 2%. Now, all over the world, all across the planet, people have been contacting us and saying that good results have been coming. And today also, you heard myasthenia gravis, people are completely without medicine. It is impossible for any other system to do that. It is impossible. I can claim that. It is impossible. It's impossible. And only the food, right food, can heal. And that's why our motto, Science and Art of Living says, if your food is right, no medicine is needed. If your food is wrong, no medicine works. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, Padmaja, as usual. And great session. We'll have it next month. Again, you fix the date. And we will have to interact more with people. My talking, I guess I have informed almost everything that I have been trying to accumulate and pass on to people. But then if and when something is required, you could put up in the form of small title. We'll speak for 5 to 10 minutes and spare more time for people's interaction. And I think that is the need of the hour. And we need to keep doing this. And thank you all. Good night.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your valuable time for our members and answering them with patience. Thank you all for participating. I hope you all benefited from the session and reason why we need to turn ourselves to millet as a staple food. For more information and details for unanswered questions, please join Dr. Khadar Lifestyle Facebook group, which the links are provided, already posted in Zoom chat. Thanks again and good night.
Thank you, Amma. I'm leaving the meeting. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.